Movie Wars.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Movie Wars podcast.
What up?
I'm Kyle.
I'm Seth.
And I'm John.
We got John Datoy back.
He's
Woo!
back.
He's back.
Always happy to have you, sir.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Had him for Scream last week, and we decided, instead of a horror movie this time, we would just torture him with 7 hours over 2 movies.
7 hours, and that's just kind of the way the schedule shook out. Titanic had 14 nominations and won 11, and Ben Hur won 11. And I don't know how many nominations they got, but
12.
We're doing those both today. We're doing Ben Hur now, but it's
the Oscars are coming up. We've got this episode, and then the Oscars will come out after our next episode, which is going to be Titanic. So I thought, why don't we do the 2 movies that were standalone movies that won the record of 11 Oscars?
Wow.
Obviously, Return of the King is on that list as well, but it's part of its own franchise. So we said we'll talk about that one some other time, and we'll just go with these 2 standalone movies. So today we're going to be doing Ben Hur from 1959, one of my absolute favorite movies. I grew up watching this movie since I was a very, very, very tiny lad, and I didn't even realize at the time like how genuinely impactful this movie was. Like, without this movie, we wouldn't have pod racing. Yeah. Without this movie, we wouldn't have Gladiator. Without this movie, we wouldn't have Kingdom of Heaven. And I mean, honestly, without this movie, we wouldn't have Lord of the Rings. Like, we wouldn't have some of the most epic movies that have come out over the last 20 years.
Yeah. And it's it instantly, in terms of sword and sandals movies, it's the minute I was done with that shot.
Sword and sandals.
Yeah, that's the genre.
That's really?
That's what they call it. Gladiator. That's all considered sword and sandals. But during this time there was a glut of them. I mean, this kind of maybe set the trend.
On.
Yes, and then Gladiator kind of reinvigorated. But this in terms of that genre, there's not even close.
No,
this
not
is
at all.
The best I've ever seen.
Like I watched 3 feature-length documentaries on top of watching the movie, and William Wyler, when he got approached to make the movie, he made the joke. I always wondered what it would be like to make a Cecil B. DeMille film. Mm-hmm. And 3 years before Cecil B. DeMille had done the 10 Commandments, he was known at the time in the 50s as like the epic director, but they were always kind of very like theatrical and a little cartoony in the way that they were made. And so what William Wyler said he wanted to do was take that idea of an epic and turn it into a very character-driven drama surrounded by the epic nature of everything.
Yeah.
I think he really delivered on this one.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go into the Oscar season, too. Anybody want to put some bets down on who makes the most pompous speech?
Well, since no one from Wicked was nominated, I think we actually might be a little bit safe this year.
Oh, my gosh. No weird hugs and being afraid of choppers flying
No finger
overhead.
holding.
Oh, my God. Please spare me.
Every day.
I love those memes that are just like, what happened on the set of Wicked? Because the actors from Schindler's List and 12 Years a Slave did not act anywhere near this traumatized after those movies.
I know. And my kids love it. I'm like,
that's what musicals do to you. So
apparently, they make you just look like you're on a cocktail of heroin and Ozempic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like?
Okay. Yeah, apparently.
Yes. Give me that Ozempic, baby.
Well, shall we go into the format?
Yeah, before Seth's going to kick us off because he's a historian on this film, but we got the history where we go through the details of how the film was made. We do randos, which are the most interesting factoids and trivia that we find in our research. We do the questions, which are just meant to generate fun banter and comedic things back and forth because we're comedians.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we do the War Zone, which is our 4 categories, how we score and say yes or no to these movies.
Yeah.
Why don't you kick us off here?
Yeah, so the movie came out in 1959, but the history actually goes back to the late 1800s. I think it was like 1890. Civil War General Lew Wallace decided he wanted to become a writer, and he wrote some things, but then came up with this idea for this like biblical fiction, if you will. Wrote this very well-respected book, and in the early 1900s, he got approached by some playwrights to turn it into a stage play. And it's weird because like I didn't realize until I did this research like how influential that play was actually on the rest of the adaptations that have come after it. Because Lew Wallace refused to sign the contract until the playwrights agreed that they would only portray Jesus with a spotlight of white light. They didn't want, and he didn't want the idea or character of Jesus to overpower the rest of the story, and he didn't want to risk portraying him in a way that people wouldn't agree with. So that's where they were like, okay, we'll just show this beam of light, and that's Jesus, and we'll just show everyone's reactions to him. So that happened, I think, in 1909 and ran for a few years, and then in 1925 was the first film adaptation, which I know you've got a little bit of history on that, but did you look into the sea battle in that one at all?
No.
So they actually went and tried to shoot this on the Mediterranean Sea. They went out to sea, lit a ship on fire, had hundreds of extras on both of the ships, and the wind shifted and actually completely burned down both of the ships that they were trying to shoot.
Wow.
And they had hundreds of extras jumping into the Mediterranean Sea trying to get away from this, all while realizing that a bunch of people lied on their resume and couldn't swim.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did anybody actually die?
Not officially. There's rumors. There's the folklore that, some people got severely burned, some people drowned, like some people got stuck in the ship, but nothing was ever proven.
That Ben hurts.
There we go. That's what I love about this.
Number one.
It's been good. On to Titanic.
So yeah, that was like the big part of the silent film was the big controversy there.
Oh, and it was silent.
Yeah.
That makes it even worse.
Oh yeah,
that even makes it worse.
By the way, they included the actual shots of people fleeing for their lives in the actual movie.
Horrible.
Like, there's me.
and you get mad about The Revenant.
Yeah. To be fair, I have not watched the 1925 version of Ben Hur.
There you go. At least you're consistent.
Yeah.
But the fun little connection between that movie and what eventually was made in 1959 was William Wyler was a very young assistant director on the set, mostly during the chariot race sequence of the 1925 version, and then went on to have his own career that kind of went full circle when he directed this masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
He earned it.
He really did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'll hand it back over to you now.
Yes, thank you for that. I actually didn't come up with my stuff because I only did it on this film, but and this kind of is interesting because this is a similar setup for The Godfather because MGM was dying. In fact, it was the first year that they'd ever posted a negative profit.
Yeah.
They had basically, I didn't get all the details, but there was a deal that they struck that was stripping theaters of profit. So theaters were starting to fail. And so
TV was getting really big.
TV was getting huge at the time. So this project stalled for years, and originally Marlon Brando was attached. Sidney Franklin had fallen ill, and so they had put Marlon Brando in place. That fell through. How many movies is Marlon Brando that we talked about that he didn't do? It's like he just wakes up one day and is like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
I'm going to go get fat.
I'm going to go get fat
and then film Apocalypse Now.
and cry.
I'm a red light.
I'm Marlon Brando. I don't even, it's not even an impression.
to say.
I just, okay. That's kind of how we've covered him so much, and at this point, I'm just so sick of Marlon Brando. He's not even alive anymore, but every time I talk to him, I was like, I'm so sick of you. You're such a diva. You're the worst. You're worse than, what was that? The Lilith Fair. You're worse than the Lilith Fair. Jeez, so many divas. This budget's crazy, and I always love how you do the inflation math. So
yes,
the budget,
I have the numbers.
Yeah, the budget started at $7 million. Climbed to 15, which made it the most expensive film ever made at the time. Which
is bonkers that was the expensive movie.
I've got about $165 million in inflation that for today's numbers.
Yeah, the number, $167 million.
Yeah, which that would be a skid mark of a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is it made 80+ million in 1959.
Yeah.
Which I remember correctly is well over $1 billion today.
Now, when I say this, think about this in your mind about what this budget would look like today. That budget consisted of 300 sets, 148 acres, 100,000 costumes, 1,000 suits of armor, 2,500 horses, 200 camels, 10,000 extras.
Actually, I read it's actually closer to 15,000.
You're kidding me.
It was fucking insane.
365 speaking parts.
Yes.
So that would all be CGI today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be one camel replicated.
Yeah. You might be lucky to get someone's real head CGI'd on a body.
Which is why this movie's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what pulled me in instantly. I'll admit, this is the first time I ever watched it. And just the scale of just of the land and the sets.
Yeah.
how everything looks in frame. It just pulled me in instantly in a way that I don't think CGI would.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah.
Well, on top of that, MGM literally invented a new camera format that pioneered the large format film of like VistaVision and a bunch of those others that came out in the 60s. And they used that big format camera along with anamorphic lenses so that they almost got like a 3-to-1 aspect ratio. This is like 2.75 to 1 aspect ratio. So as you commented, it almost looks cropped on the top and bottom because it is so wide.
Yes.
But like that aspect ratio was such a big deal. For years, I'd only seen this on VHS, kind of like Titanic. It had a double VHS setup, and it was cropped down to like the full 4:3 square TV frame. But for the chariot race, and it had a message at the beginning of the movie so people didn't freak out over this happening. They were like, we're still going to show the chariot race in its original aspect ratio, so it would zoom out for the chariot race sequence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which was a $1 million sequence.
Yeah, and took a quarter of the film that was shot. Yeah.
Which was 190 miles. I can't remember. I saw some crazy.
No, I think it was closer to like 1,000.
Yeah.
1,000 miles or like 1,000,000 feet, like something absurd.
Crazy numbers.
Yeah.
How do you keep track of all that? I mean, like logistically, this movie's a nightmare
Yeah.
in its essence. Like
They got a guy.
They got a lot of
They
guys.
just got a guy, and he's just like counting.
he's just super autistic.
Yeah. He would be a stand-up comedian today.
Yeah,
yeah,
for
he
real.
would.
But yeah, as you mentioned, William Wyler had a personal connection because he was an assistant on the silent film.
Yeah.
Which is amazing he came back considering he saw the ship thing happen. He's like, let's do it again.
Well, that influenced their decision to go with miniatures.
Yeah.
Because all the wide shots where people aren't moving, those are all miniatures.
Yeah, but it still looks so good.
It looks, because they're like 8 feet long.
Yeah. His nickname was 40 Take Willie.
Yep.
Because he loved doing a lot of takes, and but he also gave apparently very simple notes. He would say either it stinks or be better.
Yeah.
He wasn't really detailed. He's like, it stinks.
There was one scene actually when Judah comes back to his palace and it's desolate and no one's there, and he walks across and there's no dialogue. He just walks across, and they did that 8 times before he finally looked at Willie and was like, bro, what is going on? You've got to tell me what you want different. And he's like, well, the first time you did it, you kicked that piece of pot, and I was just hoping that you would do that again naturally. And he goes, Willie, I did that on purpose.
Oh my gosh.
That was a choice I made. If you want me to do that again, just tell me and I will do it every single time.
He's either the best or the worst director ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's hilarious.
It's
to me.
still up in the air.
I was just secretly harboring anger that he didn't kick the pot. Just say something, dude. You stink.
What's funny, so in this is actually a copy of Charlton Heston's journal that he kept.
Really?
From the beginning of filming all the way through winning the Oscar.
It's like
And
a captain's log.
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
And he
dang.
talks about that for the first quarter of the shoot, about how frustrating it was working with Willie.
Yeah.
And Willie even told him, he's like, you got to do better. And he's like, how can I do better? He's like, I don't know. You just have to do better.
He just writes down, I'm pretty sure this movie's going to be 4 hours long.
Yeah. Well, he made him do the I'm a Jew scene 16 times.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Heston, I haven't read the journal, but I know he did not talk positively about the experience in post. He said it was very difficult.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing.
He definitely said it was the hardest movie he ever made.
What's crazy is that Willie, 40 Take Willie, he rejected it initially because he said the first script was primitive and elementary and it needed work. Or he called it hack work.
Yep.
Really?
Oh, that Ben hurts. Sorry, I'm going to keep going back to that well. Been good. See ya.
Number 2.
Come see John Datoy.
Kyle's opening.
Yeah.
Because Kyle, Ben hurting.
Yeah, it's just wordplay. That's all it is. But Burt Lancaster turned it down because they called it boring and belittling to Christianity. Paul Newman declined it because he said, I don't have the legs to wear a tunic. Kirk Douglas desperately wanted it, but he was passed over for Heston, and so that's why he made Spartacus, actually, because it was a jab back at the fact that... And I mean, Kirk Douglas was the biggest deal at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So...
I mean, he and Charlton Heston were pretty much like neck and neck as far as like world popularity was going, because Charlton Heston had starred in the 10 Commandments a few years before that, and that like sent him off.
Yeah.
And then Kirk Douglas is just shaking his fist.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, I'm going to make 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I'm going to fight a rubber octopus.
My son's going to be in Wall Street.
He's going to freak out and falling down.
Yes, he's going to freak out, man. 12 to 14 hours, 6 days a week shooting schedule for 9 months.
Yep.
Oof.
They had a doctor by the end. This is one of the funniest things, and this isn't. I should have made this a rando, but a doctor eventually came on set. After these long days started to kick in, and they said that he was giving vitamin B injections, but Wyler's family later suspected that they may have contained amphetamines.
Nice.
I love that. I love
That's
that.
incredible. You got to do whatever
For the
you got to do
chariot,
to make
yeah.
the damn movie.
We're here to do a job.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
going to get it done.
Truckers do it.
Yeah.
If truckers do it, why can't you do it on a massive 168 million Hollywood film
In the middle of Italy.
in the
Yeah.
middle of Italy?
Yeah.
Amphetamines for everybody. That's what I always say. So this is crazy. 3,000 people showed up to be extras. They only needed 1,500, and when they selected the 1,500, the ones that didn't get selected threw stones and stormed the studio gates and rioted.
Which is also a scene in the movie.
Yeah, which is also, and then they threw burning ships.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
That is rough.
That's rough.
Ugh.
I mean, that kind of feels like that would happen today, though.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
totally
yeah.
feels like people are bored. It's like let's storm the gates. And you said 4-hour movie. The first cut did run 4.5 hours.
Yeah,
Wow.
which
So-
is not surprising. Like, yeah. Usually, your first cut's going to be the absolute longest.
Mhm.
So I am interested to see like if they just cut scenes out or if they whittled it down.
Yeah. Over here, it says, if I hear the numbers, actually, over 1 million feet of 65 millimeter film was shot. That's
Yep.
about 190 million.
Yep.
Or 190 miles, sorry.
Okay. Okay.
190 miles.
So we were both
To
right
Neptune.
earlier.
It premiered on November 18th in New York. It was number one at the box office for 6 consecutive months.
Yeah.
6
That's
months
insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
147 million worldwide box office.
with 2 showings a day.
Yeah.
2 showings a day. That's-
Domestically, I'm pretty sure it was 80 million, which I just looked up is over 800 million just in the U.S. today, adjusted for inflation.
yeah.
Wow.
It was the highest grossing film in Japan's history.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. It's you know.
Must
Just-
be those swords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. They got swords. Yeah.
Did you read about the writing controversy?
Yeah. There's 5 credits split, right?
Well, there's only one person credited for the writing.
But there's 5 people that were involved.
3.
3.
And the thing was, the guy who ended up getting credited did not do any work on the script of the version that was done.
Right.
Like, so remember, make sure I get the names right. So Carl Thunberg is the one who's credited for writing it. He did 0 writing on that version of the script.
Wow.
Instead, it was Christopher Fry and Gore Vidal who ended up writing the script. Gore
Mm.
Vidal really developed the relationships, which there was a little controversy. William Wyler does not agree or did not agree with this statement, but Gore Vidal said that he suggested that he insert some very homoerotic
Yes.
sentiments between Judah and Masala and told Masala's actor about it, but didn't tell Charlton Heston.
Mm.
And William Wyler says that's absurd. He never said that.
Yeah, and Heston, when he found that out, was pissed.
Yeah.
He went on like a media tour about
Yeah.
it.
Oh, really?
He's like, I can't head the NRA if I don't solve this
Yeah.
issue. It's like this is not gonna look good on my National Rifle Association resume.
But also
Basically.
look at my Oscar.
Yeah. Woo!
But Gore Vidal wrote everything up to the chariot race, and then Christopher Fry was brought in because he was a better action writer, and he wrote the chariot race and kind of closed everything out.
Mm.
Well, when I moved to Nashville and I was pretending like I wrote songs, we had a little saying called "Write a word, get a third."
Yep.
So
Oh.
And
know.
apparently, right, none of this version get the whole thing.
yeah, that's right. You show up, you drink.
Thanks, Writers Guild of America.
Take some amphetamines.
Yep.
and then Yep.
Tweak. Take 3 shots of whiskey, write 1 word, and you get a third. But most songs don't ever go anywhere because no one's actually doing anything in this city. They just post about it. So going to another writer's gig. Yeah. Yeah, okay. 11 wins on 12. I am not bitter.
I was about to say bitter much.
I'm not bitter. I've only failed at literally every endeavor in my life.
at you
But
now.
I'm fine. I feel as good as Charlton Heston did.
I have a captain's lock.
Yes, you will find my journal. Yeah, it's under the garbage can. This film was nominated for 12. It won 11, and that record stood for 38 years until it tied Titanic, or was tied by Titanic and Return of the King.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
Nothing's beat it, though. Sinners has a chance. It's been nominated for 16. But history usually says that when you're nominated for more than 12, you tend to win almost none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also a bunch like this happened to Fury Road. You know, Fury Road got nominations, but they
and
basically
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, and they basically just tossed it the technical sound award.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, you're not gonna win. You didn't talk about climate change.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't have a diverse cast.
Even though the whole movie was technically about climate change.
Yeah, your cast was just a bunch of white Australians that were mutated. But here's technical sound award. Thank you for coming. And thank you for not having Mel Gibson in the movie. That was great. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Signed, Hollywood.
The Jews appreciate it.
Yes, but anyway, I mean, there is so much more history, but we would run out of time. I mean, you know, fantastic.
It's a wild movie. Y'all should definitely check it out if you haven't. I mean, like I said, so much of modern cinema has been completely affected by this movie. Yeah. Like when one of the documentaries I watched literally had everyone from George Lucas to Ridley Scott to the woman who actually shot Sinners was talking about it as well.
Yeah.
Like to this day is still one of the most influential movies that's ever been made.
Yeah, it's insanely ambitious.
Yeah, and I think it's my number 7 movie ever made.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it made top 10.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was looking at my top 50 and I was like, who could I take out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Naked Gun, but no, Leslie Nielsen stays.
Screw you, Charlton Heston. Leslie Nielsen stays.
More fart jokes. Yeah, and maybe your best friend from childhood came back as a Roman emperor.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever he was, a governor. What was he callald?
And he wants you to be an arc.
A tribune.
Yeah.
And maybe he's trying to make you feel like he's still your buddy. You know, hey, let's throw the javelin at the door frame.
I'll kidnap your mom and your sister, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm still your friend. I mean, what a horrible thing. Can you imagine your kids just running around just throwing javelins at the door? Just be like, ah! Horrible. But maybe your friend's duping you. Maybe actually they're going to put you in the bottom of a ship and you're going to just, for 7 years, you're going to row your boat.
And then you're going to get adopted.
Yes. And what would save that is movie wars.
Yeah.
Listen,
at least pass the time.
It would pass the time, you know, and you're not going to get promoted to whatever. Aquarius, what was his name?
Quintus Arius.
Quintus Arius. I like Aquarius better.
That was his name. That wasn't his designation.
I like Aquarius better. But you know, anyway, this is going off the rails. Share movie wars. Don't get stuck in the bottom of a boat.
Follow us on YouTube.
And be nice to people.
And stay away from the lepers.
Yeah. Don't get leprosy.
Unless they're your mom. Unless you're your mom.
Unless your mom. Still use a broomstick. Just be like, Mom, I love you, but just kind of stay over there.
Just put a glove on the end of it. Yeah.
Just a glove, just a blue cleaning glove. Just like, go away. Get back in your colony.
Dip it in Lysol and stick it back out.
Randos. Although it feels like it's like these randos more so than ever on this show are competing with the history. It's
literally though.
Yeah.
All right, let me give the first rando.
Okay, please do.
So, if you noticed when you were watching the movie, there was a lot of blue eyes. Very blue eyes, except one main character had brown eyes, and that was Masala, and he wore colored contacts because William Wyler realized he cast like 10 people with stark blue eyes and was like, well, one of them's got to be brown. So Masala got the short straw.
They had those back in the 50s?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. And you couldn't tell. There's no way you could tell. It looks perfect.
It looked natural.
Yeah.
A lot of weird racial dynamics on this thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, is that called irism?
I guess.
On
for eyes?
Eye discrimination?
And like the Google Dolls?
Yeah, these are my worst jokes. These are the worst jokes that I have. I'm trying to look him up because he was I confused. I thought it was Hawkins, but no. Masala was Stephen Boyd. He was my favorite. Yeah. He was my favorite actor.
Yeah,
in the whole
he's
thing.
incredible.
He was
Irish.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Man, it's amazing what you can do and accomplish when you're Irish. It's great. The chariot race script was 3 words long.
Yep.
That was it. And then whenever the choreographers came in, though, they expanded it to 38 pages.
Yeah.
To instruct the choreography, which it seems like it would be
more.
Wait,
you said 3 words of 38 pages?
Well, originally it was just the 3-word script. It just said the chariot race.
Yeah.
Is all it said in the script. That's all it said. Yeah. Yeah. And they were like, anything else? And the guy's like, no, we're going to choreograph this thing. And then they blew it up to 38. That's where like the choreography of the instructions, which is crazy. No one died.
No one died.
No
It's
horses
shocking.
died. Yeah.
Really,
So there was only one injury on the whole thing, and that was the son of the coordinator was Charlton Heston's stunt double.
Yes.
And when they planned that moment where his chariot jumps the other chariot, what they didn't plan was the father told the son, "Hey, make sure you chain yourself into the chariot so you don't go flying out of it when it jumps."
Yes.
And he was like, "Sure, Dad," and then immediately unhooked himself. So when he went over, he flipped over the chariot and pushed himself away so that he didn't get like run over by a 700-pound chariot. And William Wyler loved it so much that he was like, "Can
Do
we
it
shoot
again."
Charlton climbing back into the chariot and just keep it?"
Yeah.
Total accident.
And they thought he died.
Yeah.
Originally, they thought he died, but he only got a cut on his chin. But then they set him on fire.
Yeah.
And because that's what they do. But no, they thought he died, and his dad was on set, and they said that he turned pale.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
he thought he literally died.
Also, Charlton Heston only trained for 5 weeks for that sequence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And literally, he told his trainer, the guy who choreographed it, he's like, "So look, I feel good, when it's just us here on the track, but there's going to be 7 teams. Like, what are we going to do?" And he's like, "Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm pretty sure you're going to win."
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "I think
Yeah.
you're going to win." So
I don't know. That script's only
I think
3
you're
words
gonna be
long.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I couldn't tell. The script doesn't say anything. I think it's funny too that they got 80 horses from Yugoslavia for that scene.
Yeah.
And they didn't kill any of them, but Francis Ford Coppola sees one tribe with a
With a cow.
He's like, "Hack that thing up, baby! Hack it up! Hack it up!" And that's how he sounds. He's New York Italian, but hack it up! Hack up that cow, man. Which, speaking of horses, they were consistently faster than the cars that had the cameras. So they had Italian cars that could not keep up with the horses. So they had all these little Italian cars. So they actually had to get American cars.
Yep.
So they ended up having to go buy a bunch of cars to actually keep up with the horses.
Just a Ford F-150 being
Yeah.
like,
A Dodge Ram.
a Dodge Charger.
Yeah. All of a sudden there's a voice. "Can you not keep up with the horses, Dodge Ram?"
What's crazy is how little of that scene is back projector. It's
Yeah.
all real. Like they're all, even the
Yeah.
close-ups, they're all right there.
Yeah. The MGM lion was silenced.
Yes.
This is really interesting. I didn't even
Yes.
notice it, but he wanted to set the scene for the nativity scene,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
they gave him permission to have the lion be silent.
Yeah, just a picture, no movement, no roaring, and I'm pretty sure it's the only time that's been done.
That's
Yeah.
because Jesus is the real lion.
That's right. The Lion of Judah.
The Lion and the Lamb,
Yeah.
the Lion of Judah, Ben Hur.
We did that song in church. No, yeah, I actually like that song. I don't like worship music that much, but I like that song. And then let's see. And then there was a choice to have no music during the chariot race.
Which I think is the greatest
Yes.
choice they made in that entire movie.
Yes, they said that the crowd and the crashes and the hooves would be sound music enough, is
Yeah.
what the composer said.
Which
Was this-
makes it so stark at the end of the race when the horns come in. It's just, it's so good.
What were you
Yeah,
gonna
it was honestly with all the real people there too. It's
Yeah.
just
say? Yeah.
like, why not?
1,500 people on set every day.
Wow. Man, Centurion Romans love their horns.
Yeah.
They were just
Yeah.
like, "You
Very
better get in
horny.
line, or I'm going to blow the horn again."
Very horny people.
Yeah, very horny. And they got a couple of Hitler hails in here too. This is pre-Hitler, but you
Yeah.
can see they were doing
That's the first thing I said to him when we watched the movie. He's like, "Oh, there's Elon."
Yeah. They're just throwing their hearts out to you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I was like, man, that's just been a thing for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Hitler stole it from Caesar.
People just hail anybody,
Yeah.
you know?
They'll hail Hitler, hail cabs.
Yeah, so you better get in line. I'm going to blow that horn. The question. The question. And the dumbest little
my
horns
God.
too. Just no keys, no buttons.
Yeah,
just
I
one.
I love the ones though that were like super long that go all the way around
Yeah.
them, like the Whoville horns.
Yes.
Very
Whoville.
Dr. Seuss.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just plungers, you
Yeah.
know, that they
It is-
paint chrome.
It is crazy to me. Like that set for the chariot race is, I'm pretty sure, still holds the record for the largest set in film history because it was 2,000 feet across, and I think it was 4 or 5 stories tall.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and obviously like fake back and everything, but for all the stone was just like plaster that they sat there and carved into stones.
Wow.
Like just the workmanship, those statues on either end of the centerpiece. Like, who comes up with that? That looked so freaking cool.
Well, this is back when they cared about that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
need CGI, so they had artists, and they had people that were they cared about it.
Can
So,
you believe Send Help cost more than this movie?
No way.
Send Ray.
Oh, wow. The question.
The questions.
Would Ben Hur have been better with Marlon Brando as the lead?
Oh God, no. Fuck
No.
You don't think so?
No. Oh my God, that would have been a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It would have turned into Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah.
Masala.
Yeah.
Masala.
What do you think?
I think with the eyes, it's Charlton Heston's eyes. It just
Mm.
would have been different. There's a lot of close-ups because they're experimenting with the shadowing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
can't see Marlon Brando in his dead eyes looking
Yeah.
at me. It would be less enlightening.
I would have loved to see it because Coppola kind of like allowed him to act like a child and kind of enabled him, but Wyler doesn't sound like he's just like, you stink, Brando! You stink! I wanted you to kick the pot!
Go lose the weight.
And Brando's just like, I'm Marlon Brando. I'm sorry to disrespect you, man. I know you're dead, but man, you were dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think so either. I like Heston here, and I'm not like a Heston guy, but he definitely had an era,
Oh,
like this and
absolutely.
Ten
Yeah.
Commandments. Like he had a thing.
Well, then after this, he did Planet of the Apes. He did
Mhm.
Soylent Green. He did the Omega Man, which was the second iteration of what became I Am Legend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, dude had a crazy career.
Yeah.
Really, the funny thing is, the reason he ended up getting this role was because he purposefully, right after Ten Commandments, purposefully took a supporting role in The Big Country, acting below Gregory Peck, just so he could work with William Wyler.
Wow.
Wow.
Like, William Wyler was kind of the Christopher Nolan of the day, where everyone's like, I will take whatever pay cut I need to take just to work with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he ended up getting this, was because he was like, I have to make moves with this
Mhm.
guy because I need to be in everything he does.
And then he told him, I also race horses.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Is Ben Hur the greatest epic ever made, and what I found in my research is it typically goes neck and neck with Lawrence of Arabia.
Which I still haven't seen, and I need to.
Yeah, same here.
In a lot of ways, and this is in no way dissing Ben Hur, because I think Ben Hur is a genuinely flawless film. Ben Hur crawled so movies like Lawrence of Arabia could run.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think anyone would have accepted a movie like Lawrence of Arabia without the precedent set by Ben Hur. And I can't say it's the best, because obviously it's subjective, because I like certain other epics a little more, but I do think it's probably the most influential epic that's ever been made. Because again, none of the most epic movies that you can think of since 1960 onward would have happened without the influence of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. The shadow work was just brilliant on this, too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, and
No one was experimenting with shadows at the time outside of noir.
Mm.
Like, it was a very black and white concept to experiment with shadows the way that they did in a color film.
Mm. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I maybe it's just recency bias, but I kind of walked away thinking this was probably the best epic I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it just, I don't know. It just was, maybe because I'm a nerd for what happened, how they made it, and their commitment to sets and their commitment to realism, and the fact they didn't have any effects or computer effects available.
Yeah.
I just, what they accomplished was so stunning.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, well, given the tool set they had, I mean, this kind of has to be.
Yeah.
It feels.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's recency bias, but I'm like, that was one of the best things I ever saw. Like, you didn't think I was gonna like it,
I was worried.
and then I text you, I was like, I'm kind of obsessed with this.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I literally,
I'm
you know,
dreaming about this.
yeah. And I had to watch it in chunks because because of my schedule, but
Yeah.
like, I couldn't wait to get back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about this one? Ben Hur versus Gladiator in terms of sword and sandals.
I think Ben Hur has to take it.
Okay.
Just because, and the guy who shot Gladiator was in one of the documentaries talking about like how Ben Hur influenced it, and the weird thing is Gladiator had the chance to cheat and they took it. They did a lot more CG than you would
Mhm.
think was in that movie, and it's like, I feel like because they had the limitations of it literally being 1958 when they started shooting this
Mhm.
movie, I think that automatically just sets it above what people have been able to achieve with computers. I would even say that with Lord of the Rings. Like, I think Lord of the Rings is incredible in its own right because it takes every element of everything and puts it together. But it didn't really have the same limitations that you had with this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, I like that it was like less gory. I didn't know what to expect from like a 50s movie. I didn't expect it to be as like grotesque as like Gladiator can be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like, but like, when Masala gets ran over by the by the chariot. I was like, even that was like, that was bearable. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and I think that would paid homage to the fact that there's a Christian undertone to it too.
Right.
So, but like, yeah, I think it is the best, and that might be recency bias as well. But
Yeah.
but yeah, when we watched it, I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Well, it's mesmerizing.
yeah,
Is what
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
That's what it was for me. I was just so like I was engrossed.
yeah.
I mean, the colors are vivid, but at the same time, none of the costumes look cartoony.
Yeah.
None of them look
No.
like
They look
costumes.
good.
They look like clothes.
Mhm.
And that was something the costume designers paid very close attention to because, like I said, Cecil B. DeMille was very known for these kind of over-the-top grandeur, with his costumes.
Mm.
And they wanted to achieve that sheen without it just looking like fresh out the bag from Party City.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they wanted it to everything feel like actual lived-in clothing.
Yeah, honestly, I was just like, I'm trying to think of like anything that maybe didn't look like realistic. Like, I think Masalla's sword was like the only one like I can tell that's like in the 50s, but
Yeah.
everything else was really great. Like,
Yeah.
even like the way they set up the armory with all the spears, I'm like, you can tell that's like real.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh crap, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah, I think, and also Ben Hur's arena was six times larger than the Gladiator one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just in pure scale.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I do go Ben Hur, and I'm not going to say by a lot because I do actually have a lot of respect for Gladiator.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
But just this pure scale and the width of the story they're telling.
Yeah.
And the phases of the story, and the fact that we got like a 10-minute intro with just the most beautiful score.
Yeah.
And I was kind
The
of
overture.
It took me back at first. I was like, we're in it. I thought my
Yeah.
screen had froze.
Oh,
okay.
really?
Yeah, because I was on the treadmill.
Oh, with the overture.
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, we skipped the overture and the intermission.
Oh. But I listened. It was so
Yeah.
beautiful. But when I realized it was an overture, I was like, oh, this is great. The music is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That is, I will say, the only thing to me that truly dates this movie is the music, but it's the most tolerable version
Yes.
of 50s music I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's stunning.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's
stunning.
so good.
Yeah, I still give Gladiator credit, but just again, recency bias again. But I wasn't nearly as mesmerized
Yeah.
watching Gladiator as I was this. And part of it too, one thing I noticed, and this is more of a sign of the times, but acting was so interesting then when you watch these older actors because they let lines breathe.
Yeah.
Do you notice this?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
They're so like almost strong jawed. And like they'll like deliver a line and then they just let it kind of breathe for a
Yeah.
minute. And then the other one will respond. Then there's another like 5-second pause.
Yeah.
Like the dialogue is written in a way where you kind of have to like live with it.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Oh yeah. There's so much facial acting going on
Yeah.
in this movie. It's insane. Because there's literally like we were watching it and there's I forget exactly where
it
in the
the bride
movie it
line?
is. Huh?
Was it the bride line where that was like incredible?
That was a perfect line, by the way, when he's talking to Esther at the beginning, and he's just like, "If you weren't a bride, I would kiss you right now." And if
Yeah.
she said, "If I wasn't a bride, there'd be no need to say goodbye."
Wow.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it was really good.
So well done. But there's another moment where I think it's right after Esther has told him that his mom and sister are dead, and he goes outside. There's like a minute-long scene where he says nothing. But all of the acting and entire story is told in how his face changes over the period of that scene. Because
Yeah.
he literally goes through 3 of the 5 stages of grief in his face right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's insane.
Psychology.
Yeah.
Bam.
Damn.
101.
Yeah. You just don't get that from most modern actors now. You don't
Yeah.
get that live in the silence, act in the silence, show me what you're feeling. Don't say what you're feeling.
Yeah, the modem now is like conversational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over index on, and then doing this on Netflix now. It's like, you got to say what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because they're probably doing laundry or checking Facebook.
Like I think
Yeah.
I think that's why people resonate so much with the video diary scene from Interstellar.
Mm.
Because Matthew McConaughey doesn't say a fucking word for that
Yeah.
3-minute sequence. He just sits there and it's all in his face. He's watching 27 years go by in 3 minutes.
Mm.
And it's
Yeah.
all in his face.
Yeah. That's
Ugh.
crazy. Last question before the closer. Could they, let's assume, I haven't seen the 2016 one, and you guys said it's bad.
fucking terrible.
Let's say it didn't happen. In 2026, could they film the chariot race the same way, or would it be modern safety regulations, CGI? Would they even allow it?
I have a plan. I know how to do it.
Okay.
and I
Okay.
can't tell anyone because I want to make it happen. No, I'm kidding. What I would
Okay.
do, honestly,
All right.
we're at a point with technology where actually I think it would be very feasible to make robotic horses
Oh, really?
and make them look like actual horses, but make it so that you set all 7 laps and every horse will do exactly what they need to, including like when a chariot crashes or whatever. You can plan all that out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would actually be very possible. It wouldn't be cheap. It'd be very expensive. But I think it could very artistically be shot today if someone actually would put the time and the money and the thought into it.
Are you advocating for robot horses to steal real hardworking horses' jobs?
100%.
Yeah, this is America.
100%.
Wow.
Wow.
Good luck with the horse union.
Yeah. And all
Yeah.
the jockeys.
They call themselves the horses' asses.
Yeah.
There you go.
What do you think? Yeah.
I mean, like, I see what he's saying. I think that would just be hard to time, too. You're basically, like, relying on one guy, like, when everything crashes, be like, you have 4 seconds. Don't mess this up.
Yeah.
Or else you are dead.
But
Yeah.
see, that's the thing is the horses would be pre-programmed.
That for, like, the scenario where it, like, doesn't go well, in case it, like,
No, like all of the horses would be pre-programmed. So when something is supposed to break down, like when a chariot's supposed to fall apart, everyone would automatically just go out of the way.
oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do think it's possible. Like, I'm surprised they got that many horses just in one location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, and I know there's more horses because there's more people. That's how that works, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it would be possible. I think it would be super dangerous and honestly, like, fun to watch. I just
Yeah.
would like, I'd be like, "Where are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go watch a race." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Is it the Kentucky Derby?" No, they're filming a movie.
Yeah.
We know the winner in advance, so
Yeah.
Get
Oh,
some
really?
like really not dedicated actor or actress out there too, like someone that doesn't like like Stallone does all of his own stunts, but
Yeah.
get someone that would never even do their own stunt
yeah.
or be seen near a stunt, like Miley Cyrus or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
Tom-
she sat on that wrecking ball.
It's true. It's true.
She exposed her lady bits to hepatitis.
That's
okay?
right.
Yeah. I can think of
That's
actors
right.
that would, yeah, there would be a lot more actors that would be willing to do it too. Like Tom Cruise would be like,
Yeah.
could I jump from one chariot to
Yeah.
the other?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 directors today that because there had to be 2 parts of it. Like there would
Yeah.
have to be
Yeah.
directors that are willing, but also directors that are willing to fight for the
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Nolan,
Yeah. Nolan and me.
yeah, and you,
Yeah.
and you would be the only ones to fight.
that's a hard decision, honestly. So,
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Chris, if you hear this, produce it for me. I want to make it.
Yes. After this Odyssey movie, I have no idea what to expect.
I've purposely avoided every single trailer.
I've only seen one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What did you think?
it does not look grand. It doesn't look grand in the trailer. I know it
Oh,
will
really?
be.
I think he's holding back.
Yeah,
Because he does that. He tries to
Yeah.
not really show you what's going to happen.
yeah, I think so too.
The craziest shit never shows up in the trailer.
I still had zero idea what Inception was about when I saw it. When I
And then you finished it, you were like, I still don't
yes,
know.
I got to the theater and I'd watched trailers. I'm like, I have no idea what this movie is.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I'm bad at puzzles.
Yeah. Yes, and tops.
It's spin tops.
This will be hard for Seth, but what won the movie for you and what lost it for you?
I mean, it's not that hard. What won it for me is just the absolute scale of
Mhm.
when it happened and how it happened. And like the fact that they went to Rome, shot the whole thing in Rome, rented out an entire studio, not just like a couple sound stages, the entire studio, Cinecittà, I believe is what it was called. It's
Okay.
Italian for Cinema City. And rented the whole thing out, spent 10 months there. They shot this whole thing in 10 months, by the way.
Wowzers.
Just it's insane what they were able to achieve for having every limitation of just the time being thrown at them.
Yeah.
The only thing that loses this movie for me, and it's sad, and I understand the times, and I understand that they weren't trying to be offensive with this, but the one instance of brown face was just a little disappointing.
Which
to
one was it
remember.
again?
Sheik Ilderim, the guy
That's
who
right,
has
yeah.
the horses, is played by a Welshman who did, a bang-up job for what he was asked to do. And
Yeah.
it definitely was nowhere near as offensive as Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. But it's still just like a sad reminder of, oh, right, this was
Yeah.
1959.
Not to mention all the white Israelites and the
I mean, again, you're talking about an American adaptation. Like,
right.
that doesn't quite bother me as much, especially since Charlton Heston is he was actually Jewish.
Yes.
Yeah.
it's just a product of the times. I mean, it's nowhere
Sure.
near as egregious as Yul Brynner as an Egyptian.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
So yeah, to me, that is the only flaw in an otherwise flawless movie. Which, and again, I don't think it was malicious. I don't think it was an attempt to be offensive. I think it was just a sign of the times and what the industry did in the 1950s. And it's a sad idea that it happened, but otherwise, the movie is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
First thing is logistics. I mean, like, they didn't have printers, so there was probably
Yeah.
like you relied on word of mouth to be
Yeah.
like, you just got to show up here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for this-
Typewriters, that was it.
there's gonna be 2,000 people. Just find me in the crowd. Like,
Yeah.
so that's the first thing. Well, one also for me is like, yeah, Heston just did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And he so clearly understood what they were trying to do with like the shadow work too.
Yeah.
That like they might have done 40 takes to get there, but like he got it.
Yeah.
So, but what lost it is, I don't know. As a brown person, like the brown face was a little distracting, but he was so goofy that I'm like,
Yeah.
if it's comedy, it's okay.
I'll let it
Yeah.
pass.
Also, if you're wondering, my name is not John Datoy. It's Bobby Lee.
There you go.
So go ruin his career.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't think in much else. Like, there's nothing wrong with the film.
Yeah,
Even like
sure.
the sea, like when the sea battle. Some of it's like a little cheesy, but it's well done. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, one for me, I mean, I don't know what else. I'll go back to the acting, just the style of dialogue. I think it was refreshing. There was so much like there wasn't music, like the dialogue, like let the statements breathe, let the words breathe, and that's just not something that's done a lot. We have very busy dialogue, and we have more busy dialogue now because people are more distracted, so they have actors saying more and doing more to try to keep people informed of what they're doing while they're looking at Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and so much about how movies are made today are catered to our low attention spans and our low IQs. But this movie is, you have to really take it in. It's like a cigar. It's like a fine cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that about it. So that's my favorite thing probably. And one more thing I love about it is even though it's 3 hours, 42 minutes.
Yeah.
To me, it never lost momentum.
Yeah.
You know, but I was bought in.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like bought in. I can see how some people might think this is kind of like, my wife is kind of like, this is a long movie. I'm like, I love it.
Because like even in the slower character-driven moments, you're just drawn in by the people talking
Yeah.
and what they're saying and the passion at which they're trying to make their plea with the audience.
Yeah.
Like it's so good.
The only thing that lost it for me, and this is just a small thing, and it's more like, I just want to know more about their friendship when they were younger. Masala and
the development.
So
man.
actually, I can answer that real quick.
Yeah.
In the book, what happened was, and this is where I do understand the subtext of, because what I forget which of the two writers said this, but what he was saying was what he meant by there should be some sort of lover type relationship with them. He literally said there's some emotional relationship between these two characters that's almost like two lovers.
okay.
And so I don't think even at the time he was trying to suggest that they should be gay. Because in the book, what happens is they're on a hunting trip and Judah almost dies and Masala saves his life and brings him back to get help.
Okay.
So that is where they became basically brothers, like
Right.
bonded in that moment of Masala saved his life. And they allude to that one time very quickly when they first meet in the movie. But yeah, that's the context of the book
Yeah.
of like why they're so close.
Yeah. I had a hard time a little bit early on when they first started interacting as friends again. I was kind of like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I know it just was kind of a,
there is tension there for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
But that's the point, is he's been gone for like 12 years.
yeah.
Like it's and in a very similar way, it is like someone that you are that closely bonded to. You haven't seen them in 12 years. You're hoping things are the same,
Yeah.
but also you're different, so they're probably different. Like the tension made sense. And from what they were saying about the original version of the script, none of that was there. There was no character depth whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't enough to like make me not like the film. It was
Yeah.
just a weird thing, kind of like getting it like used to this, like all of a
A
sudden.
lot of
they're-
implications.
yeah. I was like, whoa, like how close were they? Like,
Well, I mean, that's the thing. And
yeah.
it's such a long movie. You would think they could spend an extra minute explaining that.
Yeah. all of a sudden they're throwing javelins at the wall. You know?
Yeah.
doing the cheers.
Yes. All right, let's do our Warzone. Let's do the scorecards. I don't even feel like I need to ask you, but
I mean, we all know it's going to be all yeses across the board for me, but start with acting because we do acting, writing, directing, and what film composition.
He didn't remember his own thing.
It's true. It is true. Acting, obviously flawless. Everyone, even the unfortunate brown face incident, everyone did an insanely good job at playing their character, bringing you in, drawing, like making you want to hear every line that had been written. So obviously, acting is a yes from me. Writing, I can't think of any other movie in that decade that would stand up to the test of time the way that this movie has. Like, it truly ended up defining the end of the 50s as far as filmmaking is concerned. And I think a lot of it comes out in the script. A lot of it comes out in how simple some of the statements are, but also at the same time, like how poignant they are. So writing's an obvious yes for me. William Wyler seems to be kind of a little bit of a predecessor to Stanley Kubrick and his just grandiose ideas of how to make a very epic story, a grounded, person-driven story. Insane job. I don't care if it takes you a ton of takes. Get what you're trying to get. If it takes that long, it takes that long. David Fincher is famous for talking about, he's like, if I've spent $250,000 on a set, $2 million for everyone else to be on stage, I'm renting this sound stage out. Like, yeah, I'm going to make sure everyone's extremely happy with the shot that we get. So I'm going to get 22 takes if it takes that. So wonderful. As far as the film composition, unmatched. You watch other movies from even the 60s, anywhere around that time period, and Jason and the Argonauts is a very other like great idea of an epic that came out a little bit after that and used a lot of clay animation, which unfortunately dates it still. It's very ambitious, but the clay animation really dates it to that time. And you look back at the 10 Commandments, and it was insane, but also just still a little cartoony. Like, it didn't feel grounded like this. Every ounce of thought that went into every prop, every costume, every set that was built, 300 sets, just completely made everything that happens that makes up the rest of this film, the sound design, like, it's all perfect.
Yeah.
So 4 yeses for me.
Bam.
4 yeses for me too. Acting is phenomenal. They're using their surroundings well. There's a lot of great interaction. Writing, you would think with a 3.75 hour movie, there's no holes. So it's a flawless script. It really, really is. And then what's the third one?
Oh, directing.
Yeah, I mean, just to have that initial interaction with the original from the Asylum film, it came together even more, I think, because of that. And then composition it was pretty. It's just pretty. Everything's pretty about this movie.
Yeah.
I've never looked, even like the lepers were pretty.
Yeah, those were some good looking lepers.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, if that's what leprosy was, that doesn't look that bad.
It's not so bad.
I should go to Judah.
Yeah.
Judah, yes.
It's worse than having asthma.
Yeah.
This is no kidding.
Yeah.
Fun fact about the visuals before you jump into it, those lenses, that's the only time they were used until Quentin Tarantino came into their offices to look at what lenses he wanted to use for the Hateful Eight.
Wow.
Saw those in a display box and was like, what are those? And they're like, oh, those are the Ben Hur lenses. And he's like, oh, can I use them? So Hateful Eight was shot with the same lenses that they shot Ben Hur.
And they destroyed 2 of those too on set.
Cameras, not the lenses.
Cameras.
Yeah.
They destroyed 2 cameras.
The cameras alone cost $100,000 a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's nothing though.
But yeah, that's another reason why it just looks as good as it does. Is like they made these lenses just for that movie.
Yeah. You did all your categories, right?
I did.
So 4 yeses.
4 yeses.
Yeah, I think cast fantastic. My favorite actor was
Stephen Boyd.
Yeah. Loved how he played Masala. I loved how they let the dialogue breathe. And I just think this is just a great epic film. And I love everything everybody did. I mean, Esther was a little sometimes, it was like, but what's funny is she's the only real Israeli in the film.
Yeah.
And this is just how they are.
Gal Gadot kind of makes sense.
Yeah. But for the most part, I liked Esther, but there was a couple scenes I was like, okay. But like 99% of the acting is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then in terms of writing, again, I can't talk about the dialogue anymore. I love how it's written. I love how it's delivered. Directing, I mean, this is just the scale. And I keep going back because Apocalypse Now is a top 10 film for me. And again, I love it. But sometimes I just wonder, like, I'm watching what Wyler dealt with here. And again, I know he didn't have monsoons and his lead actor didn't have a heart attack and all the things. But I'm just like Coppola, like he extended that shooting schedule to 100 or 238 days.
Yeah.
And same thing with the budget. Like he just had lost complete control of that. And somehow this was much less dramatic and it's much more grandiose.
Yeah.
And so in terms of answering this differently than you guys did, like I'm just like, and Coppola is one of my favorite directors. I'm like, why? How could Wyler do this with less tools?
Yeah.
You know, and just like, and he didn't make The Godfather.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but he just, I mean, there was a lot of stuff that happened. Don't get me wrong. But not nearly as much stuff as Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, can Coppola make a film? Can he make a complete film without losing his mind and trying to kill himself? So anyway, that's what I thought of. But yeah, it's a straight up yes. And then film composition, editing was so spot on. And it's funny because we did Titanic at the same time, and on the Titanic episode, I'll have some weird comments about editing.
Yeah.
But this one,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just straight up. I mean, the scenes are long.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
If we're as long as it is, you could argue that there's like 15 scenes, it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like it's
Yeah.
15 long scenes. But again, they never lost momentum to me.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like it was carrying me through. And
there was no waste.
Yeah. There's not
Yeah.
a single unnecessary moment in it.
Yeah.
This might be in the top 10 score for me.
Yeah.
This might be, I was that from the get-go. From the overture on, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is legit.
Yeah.
Like I was all in on the score. And it's just stunning. The the cinematography is just the wide lenses, the gigantic sets, the way they use real land, like it's just
Yeah.
gorgeous. So I mean, straight up four hell yeses,
Yeah.
across the board.
Yeah.
Good job, Ben Hur.
Yeah, good job. Good thing they made it in 2016 again. just
With
kidding.
Morgan Freeman
Yeah.
as
And then-
Sheik Ilderim.
Who was it?
Morgan Freeman as the Sheik.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who played Judah?
Some unknown dude that was
Oh, wow.
terrible.
It was a mainly unknown cast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It was promoted mostly as a faith-based film, but weirdly faith-based audiences are actually pretty like picky
Yeah.
with their action movies, and it was not good.
Yeah.
It took me 3 sit-downs to finish it. It was only out of respect for the source material that I finished it. It's so bad.
More like Blaher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo! Made you stay till the end for that one.
Had to get one more in.
Woo! Anyway, this was a blast. I'm so glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
I was ashamed I hadn't seen it, but I'm obsessed with it. It's fantastic. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Kyle.
I'm Seth.
And I'm John.
Yeah.
Boom.
The movie roars.